we're going to be looking at the options available to us in Panopto to share and move Zoom content. So if we've made an online recording of our Zoom meeting, it will automatically appear in our meeting recordings folder. Our meeting recordings folder is stored in the My folder area of the Panopto cloud. You can access the Panopto cloud by going to plymouth.cloud.panopto.eu, moving to the left hand side of the screen and clicking on My folder. So here we're in the top level of My folder, and this is an area that is private just to you. So by default you're the only person that has access to any content in the My folder and any content in the subfolders held within. So we can see all my content here, and we can also see that I've got a subfolder called Meeting Recordings, and this folder was created automatically by Panopto when Zoom tried to push content over to my account. So if we click on that, we're taken into another folder, and you can see that I've got a lot of examples of Zoom meetings that have been recorded. Some of them have been approved and some of them require approval. So we approve the videos to state that we want them available or want them to be viewable when someone tries to access them, and we can approve them by clicking on Settings, loading the overlay, and then clicking on the Approve button. So this is saying that we're happy for the video to be viewed when we come to share it. If you want to do any editing, you can go through the editor, tidy up the video, and then click Approve. But for this example, we're just going to click Approve now. So we click Approve, close that window, and you can see once I scroll down that waiting for approval has now disappeared. So we've got two options available to us really in terms of sharing content. We can share content direct from this meeting recordings folder, or we can move content into our already set up module folders. And we set up, of course, module folders by doing the provisioning process, and there are videos and guidance on how to do this available on the DLE. So why would we want to share the video direct from our meeting recordings folder? If we've got limited numbers of people involved in the meeting, so if we were doing a study group or we were doing a tutorial, we may want to limit who has access to the video, and the easiest way to do that is to share it from our meeting recordings folder. So if I scroll down to an example down the bottom, you can see that I've got a Zoom meeting with a colleague of mine. If I click on Share, we can see that because it's a video in my meeting recordings folder, it's set to share with specific people, and the only person that has it available to them currently is myself. So I would be able to type in Emma's name and the system would find her, and I could select Emma Purnell, and then it would give me the option to send her a email saying I've made this video available to you, or I could just choose to not send the email, take the link and send it out to her. But because this is a Zoom meeting and we can require people to log in with their university account on the Zoom meeting, Panopto is able to use that as a quick way of adding meeting participants. So if I click Add, you can see that it's found myself and Emma. Obviously I don't need myself. And then it gives you the options again to notify via email. But for this example, to save sending an email to her while I'm just making a video, I'm going to uncheck that and save changes. And you can see now that Emma's got access to view that video. So if I wanted to, I could share that video with her now by copying this URL, placing that in an email and sending it to her. So like I say, for smaller groups or one-on-one, so if you've done a tutorial or a study group, this is a really nice way of giving the kind of content to the students to view, but limiting who can see it. But for larger teaching sessions, such as if we imagine this one with all the pictures in is a teaching session, we may want to make that available for the whole cohort or the whole of the kind of teaching, the people that were available, people that were both in the session and were unavailable for the session. So we would want to move that to our module folder. So when we want to move our videos to a module folder, what we do is we click on, or we hover over the video, and the white box in the corner of the thumbnail appears, and we can click our mouse to tick that, and you can see that once we've ticked that, we get a series of other options along the top of the page. We've got copy and we've got move. So the difference between copy and move is copy will make a new version of the video in the folder we select, and move will move this instance of the video into that folder. So both of them are perfectly acceptable. If you want to keep a record of your videos in your private folder, you can do. If you want to move that original over into the module folder, more than welcome to do that as well. So we're going to look at the option to move. So we click on that, and this process will be the same whether it's move or copy. So we can choose our folder or start typing our search. I find it's a lot easier if we just start to type in a module code. So if I do ISAD, for example, you can see that all those examples are there. We find the course folder that we want, so ISAD, module number, and then of course the year, and we select the one that we want. For this example, I am going to move it into a folder that I've got access to, which is a digital education help videos folder, and you can see once I've selected that, I can click on move, and it tells me that that is there, moved across. I can then click on the blue text, and it will take me to that folder, and I can see that. Now, depending on how the module folder is set up, it may request that you approve the video again, and you would just re-go through that process of clicking on settings, clicking on approve, and then the video would then be available. So you can see there the video is there sat in that folder now, and I'm just going to go over it again quickly to move it back. So in my recently accessed folders, I've got the meeting recordings folder. I click move, and it goes back there. And that is then, once the video is in that folder, it's approved. That is available through the block to your students on their course page, or you can share that link with any of your students related to that module via email, or you can use the URL tool in Moodle to add it to the central pane of the course page, and those students will be able to access that video.